Have you ever noticed how some people only realize your worth after they lose access to you? Not when you beg, not when you explain, but when you quietly change. There is a certain kind of regret that doesn't come from words. It comes from absence, from contrast, from suddenly realizing that the version of you they took for granted is no longer available. Today, I will reveal 8 attitudes that do exactly that. Not to seek revenge, not to humiliate anyone, but to shift the balance of power so deeply that those who fail to value you are forced to confront their mistake. These attitudes do not rely on confrontation. They rely on self-respect. And pay close attention. Number 4 is where most people fail and where real transformation begins. Stay until the end, because once these attitudes become part of you, you won't need closure. Their regret will speak for itself. Everyone has experienced it. Giving more than they receive. Explaining themselves endlessly. Lowering their standards just to be tolerated. And the painful truth is this. People don't disrespect you because they are cruel. They do it because you trained them to. In a world that rewards availability, overgiving, and emotional transparency, those who value themselves become rare. And rarity creates gravity. The Stoics understood this clearly. Respect does not come from asking. It comes from alignment between what you say, what you allow, and what you walk away from. Let's begin. Attitude 1. You stop explaining yourself. One of the fastest ways to lose value is over-explaining your decisions to people who are not invested in your well-being. When you constantly justify yourself, you silently communicate doubt, and doubt invites disrespect. This attitude is simple. You explain once clearly, and then you stop. Not because you are arrogant, but because your life is not a courtroom. When someone realizes they no longer have unlimited access to your reasoning, something shifts. They begin to listen more carefully. Because clarity followed by silence is authority. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Meaning, you do not need to be understood by everyone to stand firmly in your truth. This attitude marks a quiet but decisive shift from seeking validation to exercising self-respect. Over-explaining is rarely about clarity, it is about fear. Fear of being misjudged, fear of conflict, fear of losing approval. The Stoics recognize this instinct immediately. When you explain yourself excessively, you are not defending truth, you are negotiating your worth. Psychologically, every added explanation weakens your position. Not because your reasoning is flawed, but because repetition signals uncertainty. You are unconsciously asking for permission to live as you see fit. And once your life becomes a request instead of a decision, others feel entitled to debate it. This is how personal boundaries dissolve not through force, but through accommodation. Stoicism teaches that your judgments belong to you alone. When you offer endless explanations to people who have no stake in your values, you hand them authority they did not earn. They begin to believe your choices require consensus. Over time, this erodes self-trust. You stop asking, "Is this right?" and start asking, "Will this be accepted?" That shift is subtle, but it changes everything. The phrase, "Your life is not a courtroom," is more than a metaphor, it is a warning. In a courtroom, every action must be defended, cross-examined, and justified to an external authority. Stoicism rejects this framework for living. Your life is governed by reason and character, not by popular vote. When you internalize this, explanations become optional rather than compulsory. Notice what happens when you explain once and then stop. At first, there may be discomfort. Silence creates space, and not everyone knows how to handle it. Some will push harder, some will provoke. Some will accuse you of being cold or distant. But this reaction reveals more about them than about you. It shows who benefited from your previous openness and who respected you all along. Clarity followed by silence is authority because it signals completion. You are not uncertain. You are not asking. You are not seeking approval. You have decided. This is why people begin to listen more carefully, not because you became louder, but because you became harder to manipulate. Scarcity applies to attention as much as to resources. When your reasoning is no longer endlessly available, it gains weight. Epictetus's statement cuts against modern instincts. Being content to be thought foolish or stupid means refusing to correct every misunderstanding. It means allowing others to hold incomplete or incorrect opinions about you without rushing to fix them. This is not apathy, it is discipline. The Stoics understood that reputation is external, unstable, and ultimately uncontrollable. Chasing it is a losing game. There is a deeper freedom here. When you stop explaining yourself, you reclaim time, energy, and emotional space. Conversations become cleaner. Decisions become faster. You are no longer rehearsing defenses in your mind. You act, observe, adjust without commentary. This is how internal alignment strengthens. Thought and action reconnect without interference from imagined critics. Importantly, this attitude does not mean becoming silent about everything. It means being selective. You explain where it matters to those who share responsibility, values, or consequences. Everyone else receives the outcome, not the reasoning. Stoicism is not secrecy for its own sake. It is restraint, guided by judgment. Over time, this practice changes how you see yourself. You stop measuring your legitimacy by how well you can persuade others. You measure it by coherence, by whether your actions match your principles. That alignment produces calm. And calm, in Stoic philosophy, is one of the clearest signs of inner strength. This attitude teaches a final lesson. You do not owe clarity to everyone, only honesty to yourself. When you stop explaining, you don't become smaller, you become solid, and solidity doesn't need defense. Attitude 2, you respond, you don't react. People who don't value you often rely on emotional reactions. They provoke, they test, they push not to understand you, but to control the situation. When you stop reacting instantly and start responding deliberately, the dynamic changes. A calm pause, a measured answer. Sometimes, no answer at all. Suddenly, the person who expected access to your emotions feels powerless. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while mastering his inner world. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And when others see that they cannot shake you, they begin to fear losing you. This attitude is where true inner power begins to show itself. Reaction is automatic. It is the nervous system answering before reason has entered the room. Response, on the other hand, is chosen. It is the pause where you remember who is in control. Stoicism is built on this distinction because whoever controls your reactions controls you. Provocation works only when it finds something unguarded. People who push your buttons are not curious about your truth. They are studying your triggers. Every emotional outburst gives them information. They learn what unsettles you, what angers you, what makes you defend yourself. From a Stoic perspective, this is a strategic failure, not a moral one. You are revealing the levers of your own mind. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. As emperor, he faced constant insult, betrayal, and pressure. Yet he trained himself to see provocations as external events, neutral by nature. The harm, he wrote, does not come from what happens, but from the judgment we attach to it. When you react instantly, you accept the other person's framing of the situation. When you respond deliberately, you reclaim authorship. The pause is not weakness, it is a reclaiming of time. In that pause, you ask a quiet but decisive question. Does this deserve my energy? Often, the answer is no. Many conflicts survive only because they are fed with immediate reaction. Remove the fuel, and the fire dies on its own. Silence, in these moments, is not submission, it is refusal. Psychologically, reacting feels satisfying in the short term. It releases tension, it asserts presence, but it also creates dependency. You begin to need emotional discharge to feel powerful. Response does the opposite. It builds containment. It teaches your mind that it does not need to be expressed to be respected. Over time, this containment turns into composure, and composure is intimidating. Notice how the dynamic changes when you stop reacting. The person who expected instant access to your emotions encounters resistance, not outward resistance, but emptiness. Their usual tactics stop working. They push harder at first. This is predictable. Control is rarely surrendered quietly. But when nothing happens, no explosion, no defense, no visible disturbance, the balance of power shifts. Stoicism frames this as sovereignty of the inner citadel. You may not control what others say, do, or intend, but you control the gate. Not every thought deserves entry. Not every comment deserves engagement. When you choose to respond rather than react, you decide what crosses the threshold of your attention. The phrase, "sometimes no answer at all," is especially important. Modern culture treats silence as guilt or weakness. Stoicism treats silence as discernment. There is no obligation to respond to everything. Some questions are traps. Some comments are bait. Refusing to engage is not avoidance. It is clarity about what matters. And then there is the paradox. When others see that they cannot shake you, they begin to fear losing you. This is not manipulation. It is psychological reality. People value what they cannot control. When your emotional state is no longer available on demand, your presence gains weight. You become unpredictable in the best way, guided by reason, not impulse. This attitude also changes your relationship with yourself. You begin to trust your own stability. You no longer replay conversations in your head, wishing you had reacted differently. You act with intention, then let go. That release is a form of freedom. The Stoics believed peace comes not from winning every exchange, but from needing to win fewer of them. Responding instead of reacting does not make you passive. It makes you precise. When you do speak, your words land harder because they are not mixed with emotion. They are clean, measured, final. This is why calm authority unsettles those who rely on chaos. It cannot be dragged into the noise. This attitude teaches a central Stoic truth. Mastery is not loud. It is quiet, contained, and deliberate. When you govern your inner world, the outer world loses its grip. And that, more than any reaction, is real power. Attitude 3. You match effort, not words. Some people promise a lot. They say the right things, but their actions never follow. When you stop chasing words and start matching effort, everything becomes clear. You give the same energy you receive. No more, no less. This attitude exposes imbalance without confrontation. And imbalance, once visible, creates discomfort. Those who benefited from your overgiving will feel the loss first, then the regret. Seneca warned, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." Your energy becomes valuable the moment it becomes selective. Attitude 4. You become willing to walk away. This is where most people fail. They know they're undervalued. They feel it. But they stay hoping things will change. The moment you become genuinely willing to walk away, your posture changes. Your voice changes. Your presence changes. You stop negotiating your dignity. And here's the paradox. The less afraid you are of losing people, the more carefully they treat you. Not everyone will step up, but everyone will notice. Attitude 5. You stop competing for attention. Nothing lowers your value faster than competing to be chosen. When you stop proving, performing, and positioning yourself for validation, something powerful happens. You become grounded. People sense when you no longer need them to confirm your worth. And that independence is unsettling, especially to those who relied on your availability. The Stoics believe dependence creates vulnerability. Independence creates respect. Attitude 6. You set boundaries without anger. Boundaries spoken with anger invite resistance. Boundaries spoken with calm invite reflection. This attitude is about clarity, not force. You say what you accept, You say what you don't, and then you enforce it quietly. No threats, no drama. Those who don't value you often rely on your hesitation. When hesitation disappears, so does their control. Attitude 7. You focus on your growth, not their behavior. When you stop monitoring how others treat you and start investing in who you are becoming, your entire energy shifts. You become less reactive, less available, more centered. And growth creates distance. Not distance in space, but in mindset. People regret losing access not because you left, but because you outgrew the version of yourself they benefited from. Attitude 8. You let silence do the work. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response. No explanation. No closure speech. No final message. Just alignment between your values and your actions. Silence allows people to hear themselves, and that echo is often where regret is born. As Seneca said, the greatest remedy for anger is delay, and delay often becomes distance. When these 8 attitudes become part of you, something changes. People who once ignored you begin to watch you. Those who dismissed you begin to reconsider. And those who don't value you are left with a quiet realization. They didn't lose you in a fight. They lost you in your growth. Because regret doesn't come from punishment. It comes from contrast. And when you move with self-respect, clarity, and calm, you no longer chase value. You embody it. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Which of these attitudes are you stepping into first? Subscribe and turn on notifications, because what's coming next will sharpen your mind, strengthen your presence, and help you live with unshakable self-respect.